It's time for Bad Influence again. And we are in Season 2, we are with episode number 2, which first aired on the 16th of September, 1993. Nice scarf.
Hello and welcome from 13,000 feet over the Pacific Ocean. Sorry, I can't stop to talk now. I'm in the middle of a dogfight with a man from Belgium.
You're not actually playing that, are you, Violet?
That's more about how you can use the telephone to shoot down Belgians later.
Well, that's a bit unnecessary.
Our main review this week is Rocket Knight Adventures on the Mega Drive. And Violet, Top Gun Berlin, landed for just long enough last week to go behind the scenes of the most technically advanced concert ever staged.
Nice, that looks appropriately 90s. I'm guessing Andy can actually play a little, judging by that.
2 or 3 notes on a piano and anybody within earshot runs for cover with their fingers in their ears. And what you need is this. The Deluxe Music Construction Set.
Yes,
now, if you remember the
Amiga 1200.
that this has taken 7 years to come out. But when you see what the software is capable of, you will understand why. Well, it's just something by some unknown pianist called Scott Joplin. I don't think you...
Wow, look at that.
If you want to compose your own masterpiece, it couldn't be easier. We'll just stop Mr. Joplin in mid-stride here. And all you've got to do is select the note you want. Crotchet, quaver, breve, semi-breve, and simply...
More of a program you associate with the Atari ST.
Exactly where you think it should go.
But of course, the Amiga's actual sound chip was much better than the ST's.
Simpler. Take the melody straight from the piano.
It just didn't have MIDI from the go.
The computer will put the notes on the stave in the appropriate place. Then play it back to yourself. Anything you can do musically, this thing can do. In fact, you can even change the tempo. Now, I thought that was a bit slow. So if we change the tempo here, we play back my fabulous composition and just make it a little bit faster.
Beautiful, Andy.
Still sounds pretty dreadful, though, doesn't it? The best, though, is yet to come. And to show you that bit, I've got to get rid of my fabulous musical score and make way once again for Mr. Joplin.
Sounded a bit like an Atari Lynx soundtrack.
But we can soon do something about that. Let's just go along here.
From the game Dracula? Was it Dracula?
We can change that accordion to anything we like. Banjo, no. Bass, no.
Banjo!
There we are, steel drums.
Deliverance!
So now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Cleopa by Mr. Scott Joplin, now on the steel drum.
So that sounds pretty good. This is where the Amiga excelled.
Violet Berlin.
Amazing. Our main review this week is Rocket Knight Adventures on the Mega Drive. Its hero, Sparkster, is the last in a long line of ancient and venerable rocket knights, so called because of their rocket-powered backpacks. Here's the intrepid...
Not a game I've had the pleasure of playing, actually.
Game. It has all the elements of a first-class platformer. It keeps you on your toes all the way through. This is the start of level 2. There is a boss at the beginning of it, which is quite unusual, as it usually comes at the end. Sparkster
Indeed.
is the main character in the game. While you move him, every part of his body moves.
Body grooving.
He has a jetpack on his back which will fire him up into the air or along the ground. You can use it to get up to great heights, which I've just used.
I love the number. The sheer amount of platformers in the 90s was huge.
This is level 5. The bosses in this
It's like a crappy D209.
I've just killed one of the bosses, but he'll come back again. There it is.
Persistent.
This is still level 5. The guards are chasing me through the building. I have to trap them in the lava. Bingo. I use the transporter to go to the next room. I have to knock the support, hold down my button,
I quite like the soundtrack in this.
boosters, and then roar up into the sky.
Nice. I'm liking this game more and more.
At first, I gave this game 5 stars. Although after playing it for a while, it became very easy, so I gave it 4 stars.
The cutesy character can be deceiving. It's a bit like Sonic, but my opinion, it's better.
Better than Sonic? That is a bold statement.
Be my cup of tea. But if I had the money, I'd go out and buy this.
And so the final score...
Well, you should ask Bad Influence to pay you more,
The
mate.
girls gave it a good score of 4 out of 5, and the boys liked it too. 4 out of 5 from them.
I wonder if they got paid for this. They probably didn't, did they?
Thank you, Fotelers, and welcome to the most technically advanced concert ever staged. For my next number, I will be playing the music for Starwing on the Mexican nose flute with some very arresting visuals on the monitor screen. Now, to produce the arresting visuals, make sure both controllers are plugged in, but play the game only with controller number 1 and score more than 10,000 points. Then, when you die and go to the continue screen by pressing Y...
I'm quite looking forward to playing Star Fox 2 on the Super Nintendo Mini when it arrives.
Completely useless, but it looks nice and makes an ideal complement to any technically advanced, etc., etc. And now, for the moment you have all been waiting for.
That's not necessary.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, England, and welcome to Main Road Football Stadium, home of the Light Blues Manchester City. Today it's home to a different kind of team.
Violet is looking very 90s there. Denim, leather jacket.
Playing with a cast of thousands to an audience of millions.
Oh, and this music.
A major tour like this one is planned like a military
Nice.
operation. Like a small
Put your shirt back on, mate.
catering, security and power. They used enough scaffolding to cover the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. No wonder he's worn out. Jean Michel Jarre's already directing operations for the stage crew and the band, who are getting ready for the sound check.
Jean Michel Jarre did a lot of stuff with the old
It takes
Atari ST, didn't he?
Set, but things only really come together in the last 24 hours before the performance.
Much of the music is stored electronically on sequencers. Sequencers are computer-controlled keyboards. They
Ooh,
talk to each other
orchestra hit,
a
nice.
musical instrument digital interface, otherwise known as MIDI.
3 hours before the gates are due to open, and they're on their final run-through for sound. There was a rehearsal last night just for live.
Yes,
But because of the
the
complexity
old
of the show,
keyboard
sound
guitar combo.
longer than the event itself.
N'oubliez pas le compte, s'il vous plaît. On va faire le prochain maintenant.
I managed to snatch a few seconds with the man responsible for the tour's smooth running, technical coordinator Simon Ransom.
This is where we control and process most of the visual effects of the show. Control for lights, sound, slides, all that sort of stuff is done from the 2 towers. And then above us, we have the lasers, the slide projectors, a lot of specialist lighting effects that we use for throwing images out against the stage and against the screens that we have up there.
The show relies on MIDI. Each component of the show uses the time code of the MIDI signal as a reference point. So here's the time code, 10 hours, 7 minutes, 54 seconds, and the frames keep going round. The frame's a 25th of a second. So if the drummer decided to hit the cymbal now, then that might trigger off laser animations or fireworks or a sequencer. The musicians on stage play live on top of all the pre-arranged events, and that's the crux of it. All everybody else has to do is follow their cue.
The gates
Nice.
are about to open. I've just got time to ask Jean Michel what he thinks about the people who say that computers are killing
I
music.
think it's bloody terrible, mate.
Because the emotions or lack of emotion is not the responsibility of the instrument, but the responsibility of the guy behind the instrument anyway, whatever it is, a tam-tam or a piano or a computer. The main difference between electronics and acoustics is the fact that with electronics you can be your own craftsman.
Sit back
You can
and just let it
create your
play.
own sound. You can create your own sounds exactly like a
Oh, he's
bass,
loving it.
able to create colors. I mean, most of the time in rock concert outdoor, I mean, the performer is as big as an ant on a stage, and people can have
Dinosaurs.
see or hear anything.
Can you get better than that? Electronic concert and dinosaurs.
My music as a musician, and then to try to compose the visual track. Like when you are doing a movie, you do the soundtrack. In my case, I make the music and then I try to compose the visual track.
This is so very 90s, isn't it? All these laser shows.
It's just like my garden on bonfire night. Jean Michel Jarre's European tour finishes in his hometown of Lyon in France on October the 12th. Now for this week's news and previews.
So what's happening in 1993?
The latest add-on for both Game Gear and Game Boy are these radio tuners. You simply plug them in where you'd normally put a cartridge and listen to the radio instead of playing a game.
It's a bit bulky, isn't it? I'd rather just buy a Walkman.
Only, but you do get a pair of stereo headphones. Should be in the shops.
You couldn't watch the TV on the Game Boy though, could you?
On the Mega CD is a helicopter-based shooter. There are campaign scenarios to choose from, such as halting a gun-running operation in South America or stopping chemical warfare.
One of the better-looking Mega CD games.
Fancy becoming a missionary of heroic proportions? This could be the one for you. It's due out in October.
The publishers of Mortal Kombat had a bad week last week. They were desperate to keep the cart from going in the shops before the official release date last Monday. Unfortunately, people came in demanding their deposits back because they'd managed to get the game elsewhere. This, by the way, is the SNES version.
Sounds like some good marketing. Yeah, we can search for SNES version because there's no blood.
The soothing effect.
Unless they didn't put the Mega Drive cheat in, of course.
It's all getting too much for me. I like to keep calm by feeding my goldfish. To my piranha. There you go, Cuddles.
I don't think you need that barbed wire, mate.
What's that you say, Cuddles? Tell them the cheat for RoboCod on the Amiga 1200. Oh, good idea. Right, I will. On the title screen, all you have to do is type in O.S. hit the spacebar, friendly, Friendly. Now, at any point during the game, you can hit the letter M, like...
RoboCod 2 was a good game.
And you'll be prompted to enter a level code between 1 and 55 to get to any new level, like this one here.
It felt a bit like the Amiga Sonic, but then of course it was on the Mega Drive anyway, so... There's lots of Amiga 1200 in this. I wonder if this was sponsored by Amiga.
This may look like any other flight sim, but it is in fact unique. You see, you're not just playing against the computer, but against real-life aces, most of whom are over 100 miles away from the studio. In fact, I'm even playing against our American reporter, Z. Wright, who's playing in New York.
This is,
Talk to him using the communication...
what Andy was talking about, killing Belgians, isn't it?
Hi, Z. See what he comes back with. Yo, Violet, I'm gonna get
that
you.
was very quick. Seems a bit like it was cut to me.
It's called Air Warrior, and it's the first and only flight sim that you can play over the telephone lines. There's a range of different planes which all handle differently, and you can fight against up to 40 different people from all over.
1993. This is very early days for playing over the telephone line. I was about to say internet, but of course it wasn't over the internet.
Of a call to London. Now Andy was also in that battle, playing via the PC, and I think I got him. All is not lost, though.
Look at that PC, that is a thing of beauty. Those big desktop units, I love them.
Again, until he gets it right.
And with small monitors on top. Look at that.
No hands, this is the film of the battle that we've just had, and obviously...
14-inch monitors just look so tiny now. But they were so normal back in 90s, early 90s.
Control mine while everybody else does exactly the same thing as they did before. Better still, if I press N, I can see my own plane, which is about to crash into the side of a mountain at the moment. On using the direction key,
interesting.
I can look at it from all...
How he's using a PC to play Violet on the Amiga. Bit of cross-platform gaming.
Plugged into a phone, and it'll run on most home computers. In fact, online games like this are going to become more and more popular. A modem for the Mega Drive has already been developed. It should be available in this country next year. Now, for some more...
Wasn't really a thing in this country, though, was it? More American.
First Samurai on the SNES is a tale of good versus evil. The young hero must battle against the Demon King, with the good magic of the wizard mage to help him.
Now, First Samurai is a good game. I enjoy this.
Conversion of the original Amiga game. First glance, it looks the same. Once you get into it, you'll find out otherwise. This is level 2, Time Express. Food baskets need to be hit to open them so I can collect all the food. Axes give me a special weapon, and this magic bell summons a sorcerer so a genie will come and help me when I'm in trouble.
I like how this kid knows his stuff. He's like, yeah, this is a conversion of the Amiga game.
To the mystic runes, which are little red things in the corner near to my...
I like your style. Sunshine.
He's going to be summoned and he's going to freeze all the balls with a Stella.
Stella? He's going to get some Stella? Good God, man.
I have to hit the balls to get past them, otherwise they will drain my energy, which is in the bottom left. Little stars flying about regain my force.
Regain my force.
Yeah, I broke through the wall with the mystic to get Mystic Rune.
That's not the wall, it's a floor, mate.
My sorcerer with the bell. My sword is going to go because I've lost all my life.
Oh no, you lost your sword.
It will regain again when I get some more diamonds when I kill some more baddies.
Kick that flaming barrel.
Breaking through windows can earn you food, points or some extra baddies to kill. All in all, a good game, but definitely one for those who want a challenge.
The graphics are good, but it would be better if you could have a change of character or even a two-player option.
It does look very similar to the Amiga version.
It's been improved from the Amiga version, but this game's just too old, too repetitive.
Oh, well, too old? It was what? A year old then? Maybe 2?
The girls gave it an average 3 out of 5, and the boys agreed. They gave it 3 out of 5 too.
Harsh. Garfield
makes an appearance today in his own Game Boy title. He's taken time out from sleeping to visit some ancient ruins with his...
Why would you do that?
...dog, but has fallen into a labyrinth of old rooms. Luckily, he's brought his drill along, as you do. Here's Angela to help him out.
Garfield's one of my favourite cartoon characters, so I was really looking forward
But in this, he's bloody awful.
It does actually look like Garfield, and the animation is really good. I'm drilling there to get rid of that block. Collecting a bomb so I can blow up some baddies.
Do it.
Like that mushroom.
You didn't blow the mushroom up, though, did you?
Press select so you can blow up the bomb. Blow up the baddies. It's difficult with the buttons because you have to work out how to use them at first.
Yeah, that's how computer games work, to be fair. You have to work out what the buttons do.
You have to blast the blocks away. And it can be a bit difficult because you have to be in the right place. But if you're not quick enough or you can't blast any more blocks, you can get a bit wedged in.
Never really a fan of Garfield. He was a bit...
Find out how to jump.
I don't know, a bit pretentious.
This game, it
bit
gets
smug.
harder and harder as it goes along. I got to level 17 before I just had to give up because it was so impossible.
There's a lot of Game Boy platform games being released recently, and Garfield is not the best of them. Just forget it.
This was
easy,
but not very exciting. I wanted to put it down after about 20 minutes.
And the scores for Garfield. The girls gave it an average score of 3 out of 5, but the boys didn't like it at all. Only 1 out of 5.
Oh, poor Garfield. That's what you get for being an orange bastard.
Still on a fishy theme, this is a cheat for Echo
What
the...
happened to Nam?
Ow! On the Mega Drive. All you have to do on the code screen is type in the word please, followed by 2 letters like ZZ, for instance. They will take you to Ridgewater. You can also experiment with different sets of 2 letters to get you to other levels. Now then, if you'll just excuse me for a moment. Cuddles, Daddy's here.
I don't know. And if you're a glutton for punishment, you can peruse some more of Nam's cheats on our Data Blast, which comes up at the end of the programme.
I love those tellies they had on Bad Influence.
All you need is your Commodore Garden VHS video recorder. The bit of the programme to video is the credits, the bit at the end, read by the mothers of people who work on the programme. Then what you do is spool it back and play it forward again, but not at the normal speed. Watch this. You play it forward using your pause and your frame advance button.
We know Andy.
So really slowly, and then pages and pages of information appear for you.
This is season 2, man.
In fact, and all completely free of charge.
Last week's competition prize was to win one of these, a CDI player with software, and better still, a Bad Influence
Who won that?
t-shirt.
Did anyone who's watching win that?
MV stand for, and the answer is...
If you did, you were one lucky son of a
The winner was Helen
bleach.
from the Isle of Man, and the prize will be winging its way to you. Congratulations.
Until you started looking at the games and then realised it was crap.
It is as follows: an Amiga 1200. Oh yes.
Yo, yes, that's a prize.
And the copy of the game Air Warrior and the Bad Influence t-shirt.
What a prize that
Prize
is.
will be complete without it.
Correct.
Competition question. It is as follows: who played the ace pilot in Top Gun? If you think you know, give us a call on 0891
easy.
100. 0891
Steven Seagal.
700 100.
David Tennant.
No more than 25p. But
Lawrence Fishburne.
Pays the phone bill before you dial.
Michael Fisher. Michael Fisher, he was the weatherman, wasn't he?
Just before we go, have a look at this. Sunshine, please. It is the latest and greenest way to play your Game Boy. It's a solar battery pack. The idea is you charge it up by leaving it on your windowsill.
Look at that, that is amazing.
You can just plug in your Game Boy when it's charged up and play away.
I love the hefty accessories for the Game Boy.
Available at the moment on import from Japan, where presumably they have better weather than us.
I never saw one myself.
Take it away, Andy. That's it from us.
Apart from on Bad Influence, obviously.
In the rain, trough, just singing in the rain. Sorry, Gene.
Beautiful. So, there's the end of Bad Influence, episode 2 of season 2. And here is the data blast, blasting across our screens like the speed of light. So, thanks for watching this episode. And I'll see you later in the week, I guess. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.